Panther Nation, what is good? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I am your favorite armchair GM, CJ.
And I am your favorite scout. I messed that
Woo!
up. Got a little tongue tied. Whoop. Your favorite scout extraordinaire, Tony. Come on one time. Yeah.
Woo! Boy, you looking forward to that truck pull a little too much, there, weren't
That's what it seemed like, right? That's what it seemed like.
Oh my goodness.
What's
Yo, hey,
good,
what's
cousin?
going on there, everybody? What's good, cuz? How you doing?
Hey, I can't shake the honey out the tree, you understand? But I'm trying, you know.
Can't shake the
I'm
honey
trying,
out
I'm
the
trying.
tree. I,
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's the
Yes, sir.
that's the second new one I heard today.
That's a T that's a TB original, dog.
That's
That's
the
a
first
TB
time I heard
original.
that one, dog. That's the first time I
Ain't,
heard
ain't
that
no
one.
ain't no copycat infringement going on with that.
No, I heard something earlier today. I was going to work and the morning hustle show, and they usually have the cash grab, right? So you answer 10 questions, you get $1,000. If you don't answer all 10, for all the ones you get right, you get $10. And one of the questions was,
Right,
well, 8 times 8. And the girl who was answering, she didn't answer. And so one of the
right.
hosts was like, you remember the rhyme back in the day? I ate, I fell on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64. And she's from Jersey. And my wife's from Jersey. So I got home and I asked her, I was like, is that a northern thing? And she was like, hell no. She said, I never heard that shit in my life. So yeah. Well, like I said,
Yeah.
that was the second one I heard today, man. But
Yes, sir.
everything
Yes,
is still
sir.
everything, cuz I took a break from working on the two fans headquarters outside today.
Oh, global
So
headquarters?
yeah, global headquarters. I'm gonna get back to
Yeah,
work
yeah,
on it
yeah.
tomorrow, man. Yeah. But it's a lot happened since Saturday when last time we went live. Um Dave Canales and Dan Morgan had their pressers from the combine. And
Yes,
as
sir.
you see in the thumbnail, I put we got answers and we got more questions, which is per the
Yeah.
course.
Right,
It's
right.
normal. With situation like this, is team as bad as we were, or as bad as we are, because we still bad until we prove otherwise.
You
There's
should
a
have
whole crap ton
questions.
of yeah, yeah, exactly. And you're not gonna get but so many answers from these guys because they got a plan and they can't tell everybody the intricate details of the plan. But let's just hope whatever the plan is, let's just hope the crap works. Okay.
Right, right.
But let me get the business out the way first. We are steadily approaching our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We are officially under 50 subscribers left until we hit 1,000.
Yes,
We're at
sir.
951. Okay, so we need 49 more folks. All right, if y'all out there and you're watching, you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, like the channel, check us out on all social media at Two Fans in the Stands and Two Fans ITS on what you call it, Tony? Twixer
Yeah, it's on Twix. Yeah.
on Twix. Okay,
Yeah, it's on
and
Twix.
that's our new name for X, called Twix, because I keep saying Twitter. I
Yeah.
can't say X.
Because
It just don't sound right.
everybody that you listen to, they say Twitter slash X, or
Hmm.
they say X slash Twitter or Twitter slash X, and I'm like, just combine the two. That would
Yeah.
make the most common sense. If you used
I
to
still
saying
say people
Twitter,
make tweets.
yeah, tweets.
I still
So
say
yeah,
they
it's on
make
Twix,
tweets.
man. It's on
Okay.
Twix.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
everybody out there, okay, help us out. If you haven't, go ahead and do that. If you have, we appreciate you. And if you know somebody that might be interested, point them our direction. Okay. We thank you and we appreciate all the
Already.
love and support. All right. Now, Tony, first off, let's get into well, you know what? Let's talk about something briefly, real quick. Our former quarterback, Cam Newton. Okay. All I'm
Yeah.
gonna say is
Yeah. Talk about it.
I hope they learn not to mess with Cam. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me say, when you go back and look at that picture, him and Josh Norman, he got Josh Norman like that, and I forgot who the player was behind him, trying to pull him back, and he's sitting there like this, like he's smiling at Josh Norman. Hey, yo, leave that man alone. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Leave that man alone.
Um, it's I can go so many ways with that conversation with this conversation, but just to touch on it briefly, man. Listen, to the young fellas out there, even the parents that have young fellas, especially the men. I'm talking to the men that have
Mm,
young men plays any type of sports. And if you once were an athlete yourself and you didn't get to the top tier, you didn't make it to the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball or what have you, and you trying to live vicariously through your child. You can feel however you want to feel about Cam Newton or any other athlete, which we all do. But if you're trying to set an example first and foremost for your son or your nephew or whoever it may be, and you're trying to help them reach that goal, the one way not to do it is to provoke a fight with a player that's already been there, that's in a position to help you try to attain the goals that you're trying to obtain. No matter how you feel about that player, during their career or whatnot, the most important thing is always setting the best example for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
you may have been that type of quarterback, you may have been that running back, and you may have been that wide receiver. Okay, whatever the case may be. And like I said, however you feel about Cam or any other quarterback, that's how you feel. For whatever
right.
reason, you didn't make it or you didn't go to the league. That's your problem. Don't
Mm,
ruin it for the kids that have aspirations and dreams of reaching that level. And then you have this athlete that is putting on an event to showcase your child or your nephew or your cousin, whomever it may be, to give them the opportunity to shed light on their ability to be able to reach that next level. Because now what you have done, you have not only messed it up for the young man that you brought to the event, you messing it up for everybody else. You know, there may be an opportunity that Cam may not even do the events anymore. I don't think he will discontinue it because I don't think that's in Cam's character.
mm,
I just wish for Cam he would move different. Like it's one thing to rep your city, rep your hood, or what have you, but you have to understand the higher you go, the
mm,
stronger the jealousy get. You know,
yeah.
people are jealous that you have what you have, especially if they feel like for whatever reason that they were better to you, better than you, and it should have been them. You have to be able to move different. It's not changing who you are as a person. It's just changing the way how you move. Your character, the character determines who you are as a person, not how you move. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
that has kind of like just been, I ain't gonna go on and on about it, but that just kind of been laying, heavy on my heart, the past few days. And I just want to say that, man,
I
because
see.
it's crazy. It's crazy because you know how I feel about Cam. I
Mm,
love Cam, and I get in debates, with people back and forth and talk about his career, but that's his career. You know what I'm saying? You can never dispute Cam as the man, as what he's done off the field. You can say what you want to say about the way he dressed, his hat, his
mm,
style, the way he talk or this or that, what have you. But what you can't deny is that he's always done things for the kids. But
mm,
quiet as kept, Cam has more kids. No, well, I ain't gonna say not as many as Snoop has from Snoop Football League. But
yeah.
Cam has kids that has played for him in 7-on-7 that have went on to college and went on to the NFL, i.e. Miko Hardman. Okay?
Mm,
Miko Hardman played for Cam's 7-on-7 league. This caught the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. So I
okay.
mean, this dude is given opportunities that most people don't have or most people don't do. So you have to respect it. You have to respect the man giving his time, his energy, his money to put something on for your kids to elevate, and then you gonna show your ass like this. That don't make sense. All right, I'm
All
done.
right, Reverend Bryant. Damn. Okay.
I'm done.
All
Nah, I ain't-
right.
I digress.
Okay. Well, look, I thought we was trying to keep it brief. That was that was about as
Yeah, I
brief
know.
as a
I
church
know.
hymn.
I know. I just had to get off my chest. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into a few of the comments here. We got Chris. Salute,
Yeah.
fellas. Salute, Chris. Thank you for joining us. All
What's
right. We
going
got
on, Chris?
Nate. Good evening. And I told him top of the morning from you.
Top of the morning. Yeah.
Let me see. Dig said some of the best intro music out there. Yes, I think so too. I think so too.
Pre-
Hey, he said I see he
appreciate it,
has a
Nate.
jazz
Appreciate.
tongue to go along with the jazz hands.
Hey, hey. Dig
Oh
it.
my
You
goodness.
already know what it is
Hey, Chris said shake the honey out of the tree. LOL. Paul
already.
Mancini. Good evening, fellas. Hope you both are doing
What's
well.
going on,
Doing
Paul?
good, man. How about yourself? All right. Chris said, I heard an interview from one of the guys in the fight. Cam been at it with those guys. Now, you know what? I heard that too. I heard it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of trash talk going on between that group and Cam's group, but still, even still, it's going to be some trash. Everybody
Right.
know Cam Newton talk trash. Okay. But you're going to run
Yes.
up on them. You better be ready for it. And I think they found out the
Yeah.
hard way. Mr. Hunky Dory,
Yeah.
as always, how you doing?
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Hunky Dory?
And it said Cam is always part of Panthers. Yes, he is. All right.
Yes, he is.
All right. Now let's get into what I hope everybody here is for. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Dan Morgan and Dave Canales had their pressers at the NFL Combine, and most of the topics that we have tonight are kind of coming from Dan's side. Okay, put a little
Right.
graphic up here. All right. This is what we learned from Dan Morgan from the combine. Okay. He said all options are on the table for Brian Burns. Okay. So they're going to
Yes,
try
sir.
to re-sign him. They might tag him, and trade him. So you never know. They're trying to get a deal done, and he's going to talk with his agent in the next couple of days. Okay. So everything concerning Brian Burns and trying to get something done with him, everything is still on the table. Okay. He
I
also
think
said
I
that the
think those.
hold on, we gonna get into that in a little bit. Let me just
All
read through.
right.
He also said that the Panthers want to extend Derek Brown and Frankie Louvu. And his tone changed when he started talking about those two. And I don't know if you want to take too much or read too much into it or not, but he sounded a little more optimistic when he was talking about two of these, two of these guys
Okay.
here. Icky will stay at left tackle. Okay. And we have been talking about this for months, the possibility of him moving to inside the guard. Okay. A lot of people say his feet ain't fast enough now to play left tackle. Dan Morgan says he's talked with Icky. He is excited to see him grow, and he thinks he's going to do good with the new coaching staff. So, as much as we talk about it, it's not going to happen. Ika Mikwanu is going to stay at left tackle. All right. With the 33rd pick, okay, he said the plan is to take the best player available, okay, and we will talk about that a little more when we get along in our topics here. And also, Chuba Hubbard is running back one, okay. Chuba Hubbard is running back one going into next season. All right,
All right.
all right. So, Tony, let me get the other graphic up here. Okay, so anything stand out to you other than that in that press, or just the overall how you feel about it?
Well, let me say this. I don't
Mhm,
know who was the first reporter to ask Dan Morgan the dumb question about fixing Bryce. I see that's next topic, so I ain't gonna go into
mhm,
that. But I think as far as Brian Burns, I think the first two options is probably the only two options. To be honest with you, they either gonna sign him, or if they can't sign him this year, for whatever reason, they're going to franchise tag him to give themselves
mhm,
more time to either to secure him for the future, but also to make sure that he is secured um, for this year. I don't think they're going to give up on Brian Burns too easily at all. Um,
Mhm.
as far as extending and re-signing Frankie Louisville and Derrick Brown, I think those are no brainers. I think they ought to do that pronto. I think especially with Derrick Brown, I believe that Dan Morgan was there to witness how Scott Fitter and those guys handled the situation with Brian Burns. I think he's going to learn from that and make sure that we
Mhm.
don't make that same mistake twice with our, you know, arguably at the second best person on our defense. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you want to go down that road twice consecutively, you know.
Yeah.
Um Frankie Louisville, I think he's going to get re-signed. I don't think Frankie Louisville, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to cost you, top tier linebacker money to keep the guy. Okay,
Mhm.
so I believe that's going to happen. As far as Icky moving to guard or staying at left tackle, I was under the mindset all year, even though everybody and they mom and their wife, and I say wife because I'm talking about mine, especially.
Uh-huh.
Don't get her talking about Ikem Iquanu. Please don't do it. Don't ask your cousin
It's
CJ
Icum, not
how
Icum.
he it was Ikem Iquanu.
Yeah, it's not Icum, it's Icum. Icky is his nickname.
Yeah, I know Icky, but Icky is short for Ikem. Okay, we do it Icky, whatever. But anyway, don't get her talking about Icky Iquanu, but because that's listen, you would think she's a Panthers fan, but she's not. She grew up a Cowboys fan. But
Uh-huh.
she can't stand her some Ike Quano the way he was letting Bryce get hit last year. But other than that, I think with the new regime coming in, and I mentioned this to you before, CJ. They're
Mhm.
probably gonna come in with a clean slate. They're gonna give Ike
Mhm.
the opportunity to work with the new offensive line staff and see what they can bring out of him because you saw glimpses of what he could be his rookie year. I know he had a horrible year last year, but I believe they feel like there's something to build on there. So I don't think it was a real option for them to move him inside the guard, no matter
Yeah.
how we felt, according to how the season went. And yeah, I think it was a no brainer that Chuba Hubbard will be running back one going to the season. Miles Sanders, will be a good backup. I think Miles may get his contract restructured. To be honest, I can't
Mhm.
see why you continue to make pay a backup 7 million a year. So maybe to clear up a little cap space, they can move some of that to a signing bonus and
Mhm.
bring his base salary down. So yeah, that's what I took away from the presser.
Okay. Well, me personally, um, pretty much everything you said, but one thing I noticed, okay, Dan Morgan still hasn't really got quite comfortable being in front of on that podium at that mic with all those cameras in his face and all those reporters asking him questions. You know, and to me,
Why you
I
say
think
that?
that's kind of because you could tell it's kind of like he's up there itching. You know, he's giving his answers. He's trying to be as short as possible with them. But to me, I think that's a good thing, though. Okay, because the man ain't up here
Right,
trying to spit a whole bunch of fluff at you. You know, he's not trying to BS you. He's not trying to give you every, excuse or whatever. If he couldn't answer it, he said, I'm not going to answer that right now. There was one question, I forgot what it was. He said, I'm not going to get into that. That's something for the PR department. Okay. If he can give you an answer, he's giving you an answer. And I think I like that combination of him and Brant Tillis, where Dan is now he's focused on all of it. Okay, but you got a person that's dedicated, to doing these contract negotiations and all those type of things. I know we had was it Samir Suleiman kind of in that same role before, but you got somebody that's kind of sort of worked a little bit of wizardry where he was from in Kansas City. Hopefully that
right.
duo can pay dividends for us. But I just like the fact that it looks like they have a plan. Okay, it really looks like they have a
Right.
plan. And like I said before, they're not going to get into it. They're not going to tell us intricate details. Unless some ding dong around the organization leaks it for whatever reason. Seems like it's been a little bit of that going around lately too. But
Right.
but it seems like they have a plan, especially Canales. Okay, especially Dave Canales in his presser. I mean, you could just see the joy and the excitement with how he was talking, and when they asked him questions, I mean, it was just like boom, 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 boom. Is that all you wanted? Okay, cool. Next question. It wasn't a stutter in his voice. He answered everything everybody had to ask him. And it sounds like he genuinely sat down. He said he just finished looking at a lot of film and said, he got through about, 2 or 3 games worth of film. And he was starting to see like, oh, could have did this. Oh, we could have did that. Oh, I'm gonna work on this and
Right.
work on that. But it's all to me, it all seems positive. Okay. And one thing that Dan Morgan did say, he's going in this year also planning for the future. He said it was going to be like a 2 or 3 year process. Okay. Now, I threw this question out before. You think we in a rebuild, a full rebuild, or a partial rebuild? Maybe that means we're in a complete onset rebuild. So hey.
Well, based off of just listening to Dan Morgan talk. Well, first of all, I don't get that he's nervous at all.
Man,
I
look
think
look at
Dan
him when
Morgan
he
just
up there
had.
talking, man. Look at him when he up there talking.
I
Them
have. I
eyes is
did. I'm
twitching,
just
boy.
giving. I ain't. I just seen
You ain't
someone
looking hard
that's
enough.
stoic, and focused. I mean, he answered the questions
Mhm,
that was asked of him. He didn't have to go into no long soliloquy, for each answer. It just, he gave you enough without tipping his hand, which
mhm,
I think. I mean, hey, either the way that he does it with
mhm,
his short answers, stoic looking, still looking face, or Scott Fitterer, who's happy, jolly, don't mind going into this and that. I mean, either way really really works. I mean, I'm not really moved by that. I just want to know what you're going to do when it comes to the picks. What's going to
mhm,
happen in free agency? Who we going to resign? Who we going to go out and get? I think that is going to that is going to set the table for him as GM. I'm not, because I mean, yeah, he played in the league. He's been involved in the league as far as scouting personnel when he first came in as intern through the scouting department, assistant
mhm,
general manager. Yeah, this is his first time, you know, coming to the mic. You know what I'm saying? Being on camera, being out front, as far as the organization. But I don't think he's nervous. Me personally, I don't think he's nervous at all.
okay. Yeah, well, I ain't saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying you could just tell from somebody, okay, from somebody personally who was terrified at the thought of putting my face on the camera and talking to all these lovely folks out here in YouTube land. I know what nervous look like. That man is nervous, okay? But it's not a bad thing. Trust me, it's not a
Right.
bad thing. I think he's gonna be fine. I was just pointing that out, from my perspective. Okay. But
Gotcha.
another thing that he did kind of give a clue on in free agency and the draft, he said he wants to develop depth. Okay, he wants to add depth at every position. Okay, and that screams to me that there's going to be competition across the board, and you better come out there and you better have the mindset I got to do my job, or this man is behind me looking over my shoulder is going to take my spot. All right, what you laughing at?
Right. Dig it, man. This Morgan appears one interstate lane change from having road rage.
Hey, let me tell you, aren't we all though? Aren't we all?
Oh
God
man.
Almighty. Oh,
Oh
you tell you,
man.
driving on I-85 every day is, goodness. Okay. But yeah, but
Alright.
but the presser, I thought it was good overall. We got a like I said, we got a lot of answers to some questions that we have, but with those answers come more questions. Okay, hold on. You said
Yeah.
you are a natural on camera. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into the next one. Okay, so next topic. They asked Dave Canales, what was the plan to fix Bryce Young? Okay, and with no hesitation, our new head coach said, "There's no plan to fix Bryce Young. There's no big fix for Bryce Young." All right, and I've heard a lot of different opinions on this. I heard somebody say that they took from him saying that as that if Bryce Young doesn't get his stuff together, he has no issue moving on from him. I've heard some people say that that's a big bold-faced lie because Bryce Young definitely is broken, and he needs to be fixed. Okay, Tony, you still there, cuz? Uh-oh. Barely. You me. Uh-oh. Cuz if you there, I bet in and out. Y'all let me know in the comments. Is can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear Tony or both of us? Oh hell, I hit the Windows 98 button. Oh, Tony, they say your internet is offline, buddy. Okay. Well, let me keep it going here, okay? Tony, if you can hear me, man, try and reset and turn your browser off and come back in, cuz. All right. So, Bryce Young, Dave Canales said there was no big fix for. There you go. Think he coming back. All right, say something,
Yeah,
cuz. Okay.
I'm here. I ain't never went nowhere.
Yeah, you did. You were
Okay.
gone,
Now
gone.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now not oh, well, let me just say not on my end because I've been sitting here the whole time. So that's why I was wanting to know.
Yeah, no. You were out cuz just green went black. All right. Well,
I get
either
it.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way. All right. So Canales said there was no big fix for Bryce Young, okay? Um and
Okay.
like I said before, I've heard a lot of different interpretations of that. Tony, what do you think he meant by that?
Well, first of all, it kind of pissed me off when the question was asked, "Can you fix Bryce Young?" As if he's broken. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I took offense to that question, and I don't know if it was David Newton or Joe Person, but it was one of them clown reporters who we hear every week in the Panthers press room asking these silly ass questions. So I like how Dave Canales had his back pretty much, which is expected. That is his franchise quarterback. So I like the plan that he says thus far that he has for Bryce and wanted to build the offense and everything around Bryce, wanted to establish the run to take some of the pressure off of Bryce, not having Bryce having to go out there and be Houdini, just be a game manager. If there's 3 to 5 plays a game to where he does something special, not every single play. Okay. So I thought like it was yeah. I just thought the way that he answered that was great. I just didn't like the question. I don't like that whole fixed thing because Bryce is not broken. There's a lot more that's wrong with the team offensively, defensively, and special teams that are broken, and the quarterback ain't one. You on mute, cuz you on mute.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was typing replying to a comment. I didn't want y'all to hear my extremely loud keyboard. But Canales did say that you got a guy that say he's smart, he's an accurate passer, and that they're going to make this offense fit around him. And the thing that kind of gets me is it seems like that's a trigger statement for a lot of people. And everybody is like,
Right.
oh, well, why do you have to fit the offense around Bryce? Bryce should be able to come in and do everything. You should just put him in and he should be able to do any and everything. And that's just not the case. You know what I mean?
That's not that's not the case for
You get other
nobody.
quarterbacks and you bring in talent that best fits your quarterback. And I don't think Bryce Young is any
Right.
exception to this rule. You know what I mean?
Right. He's
You
not.
get players, yeah,
He
you get players that come in that do certain, they have certain roles, they have certain set of skill sets, a skill set. I'm sorry, and you got to be able to identify that who's best at doing this, who's best at doing the next thing, who's best at doing something else. You know, and I like their approach. I like what seems to be his approach to this is the fact that he's going to do just that. Okay, he's going to look at the tape. He's going to see, well, what, Bryce is good at X, Y, Z. All right, we need to work on A, B, and C. And then you got something in the middle, and it's like, you know what? If we don't have to do this, we're gonna throw this out the window because that looked like complete crap last year. So,
right. Right.
but yeah, I do like the approach, but I know good and well that that one statement is going to cause a lot more division within Panther Nation. I mean, we already divided as divided can be, but I know that's going to be a trigger topic for a lot of people.
Well, because I'm not trying to insult anybody, and I know everybody level of knowing ball is not the same. But not just the quarterback, but any position in the National Football League, or really like any sport, really,
Mhm.
you put the player in the best position to have success. You don't you let's go to basketball. You don't take LeBron James and move him at center.
Mhm.
Okay. You
No,
don't take Tim Duncan and move him to the two guard.
no, no.
You don't take Jokic um and from center and move him to point guard. You don't take Steph from the 1 or 2 position and move him to power forward. I mean that's crazy, right? So it's just
Yeah.
like with
Hold,
with
hold
with,
on, hold
with a
on, Tony.
quarterback.
Hold on, Tony. I gotta read the money here. Diggy said $10 super chat. Thank you. So he said, here's some, here's some for the drywall compound. Hey, let me tell you, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This is the biggest drywall job I have ever done at my house, and I'm
Oh
already
my
approaching
god.
bucket number 3 of a drywall compound. So yes, I definitely appreciate that, sir. Thank you for the super chat.
Said the drywall compact.
Yeah, hey, but no, let me tell you,
Dig it
look,
on one today.
I
He
know,
on one
hey, but
today.
no, that $10 definitely going towards the channel, dig it. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
But no, I'm just saying, like, it's just like with football, like you want to, especially your franchise quarterback, you want to build the offense around that tailors to his strength. We did it with Cam Newton, okay? We did it with Cam Newton. Ron Rivera said, we're going to build this offense around your talents. And that's what they did. Everybody talked about the offense and, how it wasn't a pro style offense when they first you game. They was talking about the offense when he first
Mhm.
came into the league and was saying this is not a pro style offense, but not understanding this was the best offense that fit Cam when he came into the league. Okay,
Mhm.
that's just like taking a cornerback. If he made his chops and he got into the league because he was great at press man coverage, why would you move him into a zone heavy scheme? That's not his strength.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that happened with Josh Norman when we had him. He was a zone heavy scheme cornerback. He made his mark in the league,
And
then
he was
traded him
damn
to
good at it.
Washington, and yeah, he damn good at it. And then he went to Washington. They tried to make him into a man-to-man corner, and he got his lunch taken every Sunday.
Oh, who was it, Tony? Who was it in that in training camp? Was it Deshaun Jackson? Was that the one that torched him in training camp? That first year
Yeah,
he went to
Deshaun
Washington?
Jackson.
Man,
Yeah,
oh my God.
gave him that
Bruh.
work. Gave him that work.
Woo.
So it's
Mm,
just like any position. All right, it's just
mm,
like any position, and I love the fact that Dave Canales says that we're going to build this offense around Bryce strength. And I said that throughout the season. And you
mm.
know how we always use that analogy, you can't fit a round peg into a square hole, you know? So yeah, that's
Got
how I feel on that.
I got you. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. But yeah, but no big fix for Bryce Young at the head coach Dave Canales said that he is going to mold this offense around Bryce Young and his strengths. And he also said that, he's looking forward to proving how stubborn he's going to be with the running game. Okay.
Right,
We are going to
right.
run the ball. He made emphasis on that point. We are going to run the ball as well. All right, hold on. We got another one here. Mr. Hunky Dory with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. He said
Appreciate
we
you,
have
sir.
not had an offense that truly matched our QB since the Delhomme era.
Jalone.
Well, yeah, Jake
Uh,
Delhomme.
no, I can't. I can't agree with that because I just sat here and said that
Yeah, yeah,
the offense was tailored around Cam. When Cam came into the league, Carolina had never ran the RPO system until Cam came. What was
yeah.
2011? He got drafted
Mm-hmm.
2011. So that
Yeah.
same
Mm-hmm.
type of offense that he ran at Auburn, they brought it into Carolina. Now, when North Turner took over, he made some slight changes because he made some changes to the offense as well as to his throwing motion. But he was
Yeah.
RPO all day long. And that was the offense that Cam flourished in at Auburn. So that's my whole thing. Why would you take the quarterback out the system that made the quarterback what he was? Like I said before, CJ,
Mm-hmm.
he won the Heisman for a reason. He went to
Mm-hmm.
Bama for a reason. He was a number one, number two rated dual threat quarterback coming out of high school for a reason. Why? Because they all play to his strengths. Now you get into the league and you got a head coach that want to fit you into his system instead of building the system around you. And that's the major difference that I hear from Dave Canales as opposed to what we heard from Frank Wright last year.
Okay. Let me get and again, thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory, for the $5 super chat. We really appreciate you.
Yeah,
Let
appreciate
me
you,
get to
sir.
a comment I saw up here. Jeffrey Evercoast. I hope I said that right. So I guess I'm not the only Panther left. Bryce has to step up fast, or he's gone forever. Now I kind of agree with this. I don't think
What
he
do you mean
okay. He
gone
definitely
forever?
had he definitely has to show improvement. A lot of people, I don't know if this is what he's getting at, but I hear this all the time where they say if Bryce doesn't do anything this year, he's gone. The Panthers are going to move on from him. He'll be a backup, in his third year or whatever. Or if we get another high pick in the draft, we got to take another quarterback. Um, Now, does he have to get better? Yes. Does he have to go out there and make the playoffs and make it to the NFC Championship game next year? No, but he definitely has to show improvement. We definitely have to get more than 2 wins, and he definitely has to go out there and put up better numbers than averaging, what was it, 180 yards passing the game, I think it was. So, yeah. But I saw
Okay.
that comment, and I just been waiting for the right time to put it on the screen. But yeah, I do agree with you to a certain extent. He does have to improve. I don't think it's got to be light speed. Everything has to happen next year. That would be nice if it did. Ain't none of us are going
Yeah.
to be mad at that at all. But he definitely has to show improvement. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely believe he has to show improvement, but I don't think he will be gone forever. And most number one draft first, no, I'm sorry, I got tongue tied. Most first
Good.
round quarterbacks, especially top 5 or first overall quarterbacks, will they're going to have at least at the minimum 3 years. Trust me, Carolina is not going to just throw away that investment they made after second year. I don't care how bad he plays. I hope he don't play bad. I'm not saying that.
Mm,
But what I'm saying is typically history has shown your first round pick, top 5 or first overall quarterback typically has 3 years before they start thinking about trading you or drafting another quarterback or whatnot. And
okay.
and 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 I just touch on this again.
Hmm.
A lot of people make statements about Bryce Young as if he was the sole reason or the main reason why we went 2-15. And I would have to defend him to tooth and nails. That was not the case.
Hey,
Period.
hold on. Hey, Tony.
Full
What
stop.
what what do what do I always say? What do I always say? Bryce was he was throwing, he was running, he was blocking, he was playing defense, he was returning punts, he was running the concession stand, he was parking cars on Mint Street. He was running the jumbotron. He's running the board around the
Hmm.
stadium. It's a lot of people that act like he was out there by himself. He ran to each section and cheered, for every little play that they did right. I
Yeah,
mean, just that's the way it seems like some of these people come off. Okay, and we're not saying that Bryce was perfect and he's not absolved of any, fault at all. He
exactly.
does have his
Exactly.
flaws and he has to improve. But it's just that you would love to see more of our fan base. It's like, okay, this what it was this year. And let's be honest, it was the CJ Stroud thing and us trading, up to get him. Okay, we paid a steep
That
price. All right.
yes.
We
Yes.
paid a
And
steep
that's
price. We gave up a second. We gave up a first in this year's draft. We gave up our number one wide receiver, all for the season turn out the way it did. And then you got CJ Stroud. And again, shout out to CJ Stroud because in no way, no shape, no form do I ever wish anything bad on him. I'm glad he's out there balling. Okay. But I
right.
think that was just the icing on the cake. And everybody was like, well, you know what? Look what he did. And everything Bryce Young has done is compared to what CJ Stroud did this past year. And we
Yeah.
say, okay, well, CJ Stroud, had better weapons. And then you hear everybody's like, oh, well, who is Nico Collins? I never heard of Nico Collins, before this season. But what do I keep saying, Tony? They had the coaches out there and they say, you know what? Nico was good at this, Nico was good at that, Nico was good at the other. And you know what they did? They went out there and they capitalized and they turned everything he was good in into strengths,
Yes.
and they used it all season long. And that's what I'm hoping
If
that we can
if
do for the Panthers.
if people went back and watched some of the tape of the Houston Texans, you had a mixture of the offense of what they did in San Francisco as opposed to what CJ Stroud ran at Ohio State. Just go back and watch the tape.
Hmm.
It wasn't a full out system that Bobby Slowick came with from San Francisco. They built that system, a little bit from San Francisco and a little bit from Ohio State, and they mixed it
Hmm.
together to come up with what worked best for CJ Stroud. We didn't do that in Carolina last year. We tried to fit
Hmm.
Bryce Young, who's the RPO base quarterback, into a West Coast triangle read offense. The math ain't mathing. Those two don't are not in comparison whatsoever. So basically, you had a quarterback out there relearning a system because you were stubborn and didn't want to build your offense around said quarterback. That yeah, that's all.
Hmm. Yeah, Paul said, look at all these top drafted QBs since 2015 who didn't play long for the teams that drafted them. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. I think Winston probably was the longest one on this list. He played for the Bucks
He
for
played. Yeah, he played. I think they got the full 5 or 6
yeah, I
years
think he did.
out of
Hmm.
Jameis. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. I agree with this list. But like you said, Tony, he's definitely gonna get 3 years. Okay.
yeah,
And like we always said when we was going up to the draft last year, we were team CJ Stroud. That's who we wanted to pick. But Bryce is a quarterback. We gotta roll with it. And like I keep saying, I don't think he is as bad as everybody say he is. And hopefully, this new change in the regime, new change in management, Dan Morgan, new coaching staff, new coaching scheme. Hopefully this will bear fruit. And you know what? And if it doesn't, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, well, you know what? I was wrong. So, but yeah,
yeah.
let's go ahead and
I
let's go
will
ahead and
too,
move
but
on here.
as
Go ahead.
as it stands, I don't think I will be.
Okay. I look, hey, I pray that's the case, brother. I pray that's the case. Okay.
All
All right.
right,
Now,
what we got next?
comment on screen. I can get back to the damn comments. Okay, there we go. All right. Another thing that Dan talked about was the deals for these three players on the bottom of the screen here. You got Derek Brown, you got Brian Burns, and you got Frankie Louisville. And I wanted to kind of bring this up again because we were messing around with Spot Track before hold on. It smells like crab legs. Oh god, I talking about Jameis.
I can't. I
Oh
can't.
goodness. All right, let me get
Go
back
ahead,
to this.
man. I'm gonna
Okay,
try not
Dan
to
Morgan
laugh
was.
and not try to break your train of thought. But
Oh no,
between
you
hunky
you
dory
good.
and digging, man, they go ahead,
Hey,
go
let me
ahead.
tell you, when I see
I'm
you
just not gonna
laughing, I
look at
know
the
to look over at the
comments.
comment. You
I'm
good,
just not
man.
gonna look at the comments. Go ahead, man.
But he was talking about signing an extension for Derek Brown, signing Frankie Louisville, and signing Brian Burns. And like I said earlier, it seemed like his tone changed a little bit when he started talking about Frankie Louisville and Derek Brown. To me, it was like that was kind of like okay, these probably are more feasible. We can get this done. Brian is kind of it's not really up to Brian, but I'm sure that I'm not gonna say I'm sure, but I would think that they probably would have offered him something by now, and maybe they're waiting to talk to his agent to see exactly what Brian Burns wants to do and just how far apart the numbers are, if they are that far apart. I'm hoping that they're not, and I'm hoping that they can come up with something. But to go back to Spot Track, we were on the website the other day before we went live, and as of right now, the Panthers sit with like $42 million in cap space. Okay, so if Brian Burns wants $30 million, that leaves us with $12 million, and that's not going to fly. That's not going to work. Because we need what about 8 to 10 just to sign the draft picks. Okay,
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's
now
not
go ahead. Go
exactly
ahead.
how it works. Yeah, because if he want 30 million, so you say it's a 5 year deal, that cap
Mhm.
hit will be spread out over 5 years. His yearly salary won't be the full amount as
Okay.
far as cap space. Yeah, that's there. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thank you
go
for
ahead.
that. But even still, that's still gonna eat up a big chunk of it. Okay.
Right,
Um,
right.
we were looking at Spot Track, and there are several players. Bradley Bozeman, um, Taylor Moton, and and some other ones, and I forgot.
Think it was
But now, Spot-
no, it wasn't also corporate.
no, I think it was Austin Corp. I think he was on that
Was
list
it?
too. Yeah,
Okay.
but it was a number of players who had the option to have their contract restructured. Okay, and when we restructured all of their contracts, it brought the Panthers salary cap space up about $20 million. Okay, so it went from 42 to to about $62 million. All right, and we also just kind of played around with it. Cut a few players, see how I would do. Somebody like Dante Jackson. We were saving I
Gone.
think an extra 5 point something million
Yeah, like
with cutting him.
5.6 million.
Yeah, and I think we take a cap hit of dead money. I forgot how much it was, but even still, I think we ended up getting up to about like 67 million in cap space. But I say all that to say, okay, I think Derek Brown, I think is a must. Frankie Louvu is a must. Okay. I think Frankie Louvu's market value is somewhere around 12, 13 million dollars. I will pay that to him any day. Okay.
Yeah,
Derek Brown, I
yeah,
forgot
he's
his
definitely
market
earned it.
value. Yeah, Derek Brown, I forgot his market value, but I think it's somewhere
I think it's
somewhere
like
like
between 12 and 14. I
yes,
think for
pay it.
for defense tackle, yeah.
Yeah, pay it. Get that man the deal, pay him. Okay. And the
Yes.
thing with Brian Burns is it looks to me like it's a franchise tag situation, and I say they just go ahead and get it done, get the man a tag. And sometimes I got the sense where it's just like they want Brian Burns to kind of have some patience with him. It's kind of one of them situations where, you get promoted at work. Okay, just say you take a supervisory role, kind of like Dan Morgan did. I mean, he was already in kind of one, but now he's the top dog as far as a GM. Okay, and you take over
Right.
a group of people who weren't happy with their previous supervisor. So you go in, it's just like, hey, okay, this is what I'm working with now. This is the damage that was done by the previous supervisor, whoever else was there. Okay, I can help you. I can get you where you want, but I need time. I need another year. Maybe that's what Dan Morgan's trying to convey to Brian Burns. Like, hey, stick with us this 1 year. We got a crap ton of salary cap coming next year. If I'm not mistaken, the salary cap for the Panthers is supposed to look pretty damn good next year. Okay.
Right.
Get us to next year and we got you covered, you know? So, but
Yeah.
I think current situation now, you sign Louvu, you sign Brown, you tag Burns, and then we go from there. Okay. I think there's a situation we can get all three of them because I know they want to keep all of them. I want them to keep all of them.
Yeah.
What you think, Tony?
Well, to make a long day, I'm making short and sweet. I just think it need to be signed, signed, and signed. All three of them
Sign,
need to be
sign, and
signed.
sign.
I just think Brian Burns' situation is going to just take a little bit more to work out, but I think eventually it will get done. Dan Morgan did mention that he's meeting with Brian Burns' agent at the combine. A lot of the
Hmm.
time, the combine is where deals get made. So when you
Okay.
spend a whole week at the combine and you see them GMs and head coaches and scouts and stuff sitting up in the stands, those guys are
Hmm.
having talks with each other, meeting with each other, verbal handshakes is going on. So then you start seeing pieces fall after the combine. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, I think all three will um be signed. I just think Brian Burns would take just maybe a little bit more to work out, but it will eventually get done.
Okay. And I want to say this too. And I don't know if you heard this. I kind of heard this in passing as I was, kind of scrolling through the internet. I think I was listening to another podcast and somebody on the panel mentioned that the contract that the Panthers tried to give Brian Burns was full of incentives and incentives that, probably was never going to be obtained, by the team. Something like, we had to make the playoffs and do this and do that. Now, like I said, that's pure speculation on my part. That's just something I heard somebody else say. I can't confirm that
Mhm.
whatsoever. But do you think that would have been a possibility? That the contract just was something that Brian Burns looked at and was like, nah, I want my money. Not that I got to do all this stuff that I'm not going to be able to get to this year to be able to get my full contract.
It very well could have been. I because I didn't see that statement, so I'm not going to speculate too much on it, but it very well could be because I know Brian Burns said a couple years ago that basically, because his brother Stanley Oliver used to play for the Panthers, and it was his
Hmm.
dream to play for the same team that his brother once played for. So when he got drafted by
Mm.
Carolina, he was excited. So it was like
Okay.
he looked at Carolina as being, you know, a homegrown team, even though he's from Florida, because his
Yeah.
family was already entrenched in being Panther fans.
Oh,
And
that's
he
who
made a
Morgan was
comment.
talking about.
Stanley Oliver.
Oh.
His
Oh,
brother used
okay.
to play defensive end. Mhm.
Gotcha. My bad. Go
So
ahead.
That's Mr. God, what was his name on Twitter? He got a heavy Twitter account, man. I'm
Mm,
sorry, Twix. He has a heavy Twix account. Correction.
mm.
Uh, with fans. But yeah, I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But he was basically saying that, you know, to stay with this team, he wouldn't mind taking a hometown discount. He wouldn't mind looking out for the team. And that
Mm,
to me, like I said, even just like the mistake that he made when he said after the season at the end of the exit news conference where he talked about he played scared. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Or he didn't want to get injured, knowing this was the last year of his contract. He didn't have no deal made. When you say things publicly, people will use it against you some way, somehow they will try to. Don't
mhm.
go out there in the public telling people you'll be willing to give team a hometown discount. Then when it's time to give them a hometown discount, you mad because you don't know what the hometown discount is going to be. All right.
Yes, the
Just
internet
hey,
doesn't forget. It's undefeated.
yeah, the internet doesn't forget. It's undefeated. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm,
undefeated. Keep your cards to your vest. You know what I'm saying? Keep them close to the vest. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them see your hand. You know, but I remember when he made that comment, I was like, okay, that was cool when he said it, and I thought about it. But then
mhm.
fast forward to now, and I'm like, okay, that could there may have been something that they used against him. I don't know that to be true, but it's a possibility. It's a
Okay.
possibility. But the key thing in now is getting something done.
Yeah, facts. Facts, 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 facts. So a couple comments back up here. Nine Dime all the time said, "What up, homies?" And
What's
I don't
going
know if
on,
it was
man?
him or somebody else, and they made a comment. You know, we're from 910 back home, and they said Nine Dime, and I never heard anybody call it Nine Dime. So now I'm not calling anything else now but Nine Dime. So what's going on? How you doing? All right, Antonio McClanahan, always great content. Hey, thank you. We appreciate you. Appreciate you pulling up on
Yeah,
us. Thank you,
Antonio,
thank
what's
you, thank
going
you, thank
on?
you. Yeah. Let me see. Said we scored. Jeffrey Haverkle said we scored 0 points in the last two games. That's messed up to me. Being a true Panther fan, that sucks. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
it does.
absolutely.
It totally does.
Absolutely sucks.
And in that
Absolutely
situation
sucks.
that has to be fixed. Okay, has to be fixed.
Yeah.
All right, but that's it on the deals. You know, we hope that all three of them can get done and get signed. Derek Brown, Frankie Louvu, I think they're pretty much done deals. You know, they just probably got to agree on the numbers. Brian Burns, a little more complicated, a little more intricate than that. But I do think it can get done. I do think it can get done. And what I don't want to see happen is what always happens is we let somebody go who we should have signed or should have done right by them, you know, in previous years, and they go somewhere else and
Right.
ball out. Okay.
Right. Right.
I want to keep everybody here, keep everybody together. You know, if everybody can stay healthy, this defense the defense was good last year. Okay, it was good last year, and you never know. We keep everybody healthy, it might have a chance to be great. So we'll see. We
You never
shall
know.
see. All right, hold on. Let's read the money. FPFO Dylan Rice, the $5 super chat. He said, appreciate y'all's work. Keep pounding. Hey, we appreciate you coming through and we
We
appreciate
appreciate you
that
too, man.
$5. Hey, thank you, thank you,
Welcome,
thank you,
welcome to
thank
the
you.
family, and
Yeah.
you know, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already hit it, so you'll
Yeah, we
be aware
appreciate
whenever we drop our new content or go live, man. We
you. Hey,
appreciate you.
look at you, Tony. Dropping the nuggets. Well, I'm proud of you. You don't come a long way.
Yeah, well, ESPN ESPN restructured my deal, so I'm gonna be a little bit more vocal.
All right, moving on. Moving on. All right, next topic we have Icky. Dan Morgan said Icky is staying at left tackle. Okay, so he said he's looking forward to Icky working with the new offensive line coach, the new offensive scheme, all the other different coaches that he'll be working with. We all been speculating this whole offseason that the best move for Icky may be to move him inside to guard. Okay. Oh, he's been watching us since April. Oh, well, hey, well,
Yeah,
thank you.
appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Didn't know
Thank you.
that.
All right, we sure did.
Yeah,
And if we
appreciate
have missed you in the past, we apologize. All right. Thank you.
you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But Icky is staying at left tackle. Okay. He says he looks forward to seeing Icky develop into one of the best left tackles in the league. And I think that was quite a bold statement. Okay. I
Mhm.
hope it to be true. I hope it to be true. Because if you look back at Icky's rookie year, he had struggles in those first couple of games. Miles Garrett and I forgot my man name from the Giants. It was number 5. Thibodeau? Whoever it was. But Icky got that work the
Who you
first
talking
2
about?
games. The defensive end from the Giants. When we played Cleveland and then the Giants in Icky's rookie year, those first 2 games,
Oh,
you know, because
it wasn't Kayvon Thibodeau because he got hurt. It was the other defensive end that went to Old Dominion. I can't
mm,
remember his name. He got a funny last name. But yeah, he was giving Icky uh that work in game 2. But Miles Garrett introduced him to the NFL
oh, okay, yeah,
real
he
quick.
sure did.
Game 1.
Yeah, he baptized them expeditiously in game 1. But and then
In the
he
name of
had
the
a not
Father, the
so
Son. Okay, let's stop.
and all that. But yeah, he had a difficult game 1 and he continued on in the game 2. But I think Icky turned it around after those first few games, and I think he had a solid rookie campaign. Okay, especially after Steve Wilkes took over, and it was more of a run-based offense, and it was we're going to pound the ball, um, get yards on the
Pause. I gotta
ground.
cut you off.
Go ahead.
Dylan Rice. Hold
Uh
on.
huh.
You remember this? Dylan Rice, the one gave me the nickname with the crab hands. When I was doing that,
Oh,
that's who that is.
oh. Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, and that's what Mr. Hunky Dory laughing about.
Oh, okay. I'm not even gonna lie. I was hoping you would, because I was confused for a second, but I remember now.
Because
I
I was sitting
I
looking, I was like,
remember now.
why is Hunky Dory laughing about the crab? And I looked, okay, yeah, Dylan, yeah, Dylan first
Oh,
made a
that's
comment.
right. Because you used to do
Yeah,
this.
I was doing like this, yeah,
Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey, Dylan, you a
yeah.
fool, man.
Go
But I
ahead,
appreciate
go
that.
ahead.
All right. I'm gonna pass it on to you, man. What you think about Icky staying at left tackle?
I think it's a good move. Like I said, I
Okay.
listen. We all know and witness how horrible of a second year he had last year, giving up 11 sacks, the most sacks of any left tackle in the National Football League. He did not have a
Mm,
good sophomore campaign. He had a better rookie year than I expected. He went through the rookie woes the first I say the first 3 games, and things started to settle down for him after game 3, and he ended up having a better year, his
mm,
rookie year than he did his second year. Again,
yeah.
he's someone that I don't think he's broken. I think there's some things that he needs to fix, some things that he needs to work on. And
Mm,
behind closed doors, there are things that this new um offensive line and these new coaches have seen that they feel like that they feel like they can work with. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I'm just anxious to see the product on the field they have once they gotten a hold of him and starting to develop him, starting to work on the things that he needs to work on. I want to see that translate to the field because last year was a total regress. He totally
Mhm.
regressed back to what he looked like compared to what compared to what he was when he came into the league. You saw the
Mhm.
regression in year two. I can't
Yeah.
even compare it to any season that he played at NC State or the first year with the Panthers. That's how horrible it was. But clearly there is something there. We've seen it.
Okay.
You know, we don't know fully. Me personally, I think the scheme, because it affect the whole offensive line, and the injuries affect the offensive line. When you got the left guard and the right guard out, so we talk a lot about how Bradley Bozeman was trying to make up for areas of weakness. Well, that left guard position, you got a left tackle right beside him. So,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say that it was all on that, because Icky had some instances where he just looked like he just didn't know what the hell was going on, and people just blowing by him, like he was
Mhm.
a stop sign, and people just running damn stop signs. That's what he looked like
Yeah.
out there. But
Hey,
you
but
know,
but you know what though? There were a lot of plays. There were a lot of plays when the ball was snapped. Icky looked like he was expecting to block somebody to his right. Or it's like he was expecting somebody else or a running back or somebody to pick up
hmm
whoever was coming around his left side. Because it seemed like he would go back and he would do one of these numbers here, looking to the right, and then he's like, oh crap. And then he would try and recover, and it would just be too
yeah,
late. And I keep saying this, I keep beating this drum. Okay, scheme. Was that an issue with the coaching, the blocking assignments? Bozeman calling out anything at the line of scrimmage. Who knows? But yeah,
didn't say it was more like a country yield sign. That
yeah,
them blinking that caution light.
yeah. Uh huh. Hold on.
Yeah,
He said a speed bump you ain't scared of. Oh my god. Yeah. When we get back to Paul comment, he said Icky had a better rookie season because he had Brady Christensen next to him, where left guard had about 4 to 5 players in and out all last year. Yeah, I do think
yeah,
that was
facts.
that was a fact. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
fact,
factor in it. Yeah, he said the
facts.
entire Panthers O line was bad last year. All 5 positions were bad, bad, bad. Also facts. Also. Mr.
Yeah,
Uncle George said, I got to
that is
remember
fact.
that country yield sign. All right.
Welcome
Well,
back,
some
Dylan. Dylan has definitely made his presence known today.
yes, sir. He's entered the building. Yes, entered the chat with a vengeance. But Icky is staying at left tackle. Okay, and we all we can do is just hope that Icky has a better third year than he had in his sophomore campaign. Okay, so
Yeah,
all right. So let's move on here. All right. Dan Morgan also said that at pick 33, the plan now is to take the best player available. And he also stated later on in his presser that if everything is equal, okay, if everything is equal, they're going to pick for need. Okay. Me personally,
right.
I think they should pick for need regardless. You know what I mean? I get the whole
Yeah,
best player available thing, but if well to be honest with you, hell, I guess we got so many damn needs on the team. Even the best player available, it's going to fill the need that we have. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
I mean, I would say yeah, we need help. Defensive line, shit, yeah, all of them. Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe I
we
have to
we
go
need
back
help
on that
everywhere. But
statement.
yeah, I don't think it's uncommon for any general manager to say, best player available. I think that's a common cliche that all of them say around draft time.
Hmm.
But you can look at your team and realize that you going you're going to be drafted for need. You're not in a position to take best player available. You're not the Kansas
Yeah.
City Chiefs, the 49ers, the Ravens, the Detroit Lions who can afford to take best player available. No, you have a lot of holes that need to be filled, a lot of needs that need to be met. So you need to go out and get those needs met. And 9 times out
Yeah.
of 10, they're not going to come with the best player available. It may be that it's the best player available at the position of need. I think that's
Okay.
how it should be, how they should spin it. You know what I'm saying? Who is the best player available at a position of need? Like we did with our first mock draft when we got to pick 33, the two biggest needs that we felt like were needed were either wide receiver, offensive lineman. So we took the best player available at a position of need, which at that time was offensive lineman. So
Facts.
that's how I think they should look at it, and that's how I think they really are looking at it behind the scenes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I'll make this short and sweet. Yeah, like Miss Uncle Dory said, we need everything. So
Right.
I me personally, me personally, if the right offensive lineman is there, if I'm not Dan Morgan, I'm taking him. Okay. I'm taking him. I like you always say, Tony, everything starts in the trenches. I'm starting in the
That's
trenches
right.
too. Okay. But if it's a stud wide receiver still there on the board, I'll be okay with it. But I want offensive linemen. All right. Let me see. Paul said, "Has anyone seen a player like Jeremy Chin fall from grace as quickly as he has? I kind of thought something else was going on with him. It's like he was a forgotten man." Well, yeah,
Go
they
go
said they wanted
go
to
ahead.
use him. They said they wanted to use him. They said they had a plan for him, and I don't know what happened. That plan went out the window. I mean, end of the season, Jeremy Chin was running with the special teams.
This is what I say with Jeremy Chin, and I said it when we drafted him. And CJ, you hear me say it all the time. Competition matters.
Mm-hmm.
Competition matters.
Facts.
There's nothing wrong with feeling like or thinking that you may have found a diamond in the rough. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what Jeremy Chin was that year. We saw a 6'3", 220-pound safety from Southern Illinois, who we thought was a diamond in the rough that can be a steal of the draft. When used properly, and I emphasize that used properly, like he was his
Speak
rookie
on it.
year,
Mm-hmm.
he can be a difference maker. When you're dealing with a
Okay.
tweener like him, that's a tweener in between safety and linebacker. And the reason why I say that is what I said all along when we first drafted Jeremy Chin. He is not great in coverage. He's
Mm-hmm.
just not. If you want to talk about him taking on a tight end out of the backfield, or maybe running down the seam with a tight end, or taking a running back out in the flat, or maybe possibly running a wheel route, a sail route.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anytime you take Jeremy Chin and line him up over a wide receiver in the slot, that is cook lunch, breakfast, and dinner 10 out of 10 times. He can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
My best comp for Jeremy Chin when he came out was Cam Chancellor. I said he was Cam Chancellor 2.0. Cam Chancellor was a great in the box run defender, but he sucked at coverage. But what did Seattle do? They kept him in the box. They didn't expect him to run with the tight end or anything like that. If you go back and look at the tape, how they were schemed, he didn't necessarily move. Cam Chancellor didn't move to the side of the tight end. I take that back. When he moved to the side of the tight end and there was a slot in the middle, he didn't
Mm-hmm.
move over to cover that slot. He stayed on that tight end. That was his best matchup. We did a highlight last year, CJ. You,
Mm-hmm.
you remember when we cut the tape up and we did a short on it and we show how Kyle Pitts made Jeremy Chin stumble and fall when
Yeah.
he
Uh-huh.
bracketed him and went with him in man coverage
Yes, sir.
across the field and line up with
Mm-hmm.
him in man coverage, and Kyle Pitts gave him that work. And he ain't even a wide receiver. He's not
Yeah.
even a slot one of them one of them short, shifty guys that you normally see in the
Mm-hmm.
slot. And I have been saying, if you do that with Jeremy Chin, he's going to get exposed. When Ivero came from Denver, one of the questions, well, one thing I feel like maybe Ivero thought he had was another Justin Simmons. When you go back and look at Justin Simmons and his days at Oklahoma State, and even his time right now in Denver, he is a better, much better, hands down, cover safety than Jeremy Chin would ever be. And I think he found out real quick that he didn't have another Justin Simmons in Jeremy Chin. So he doesn't fit Ivero's scheme.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't. And
Okay.
as the season played out, you saw less and less of Jeremy Chin because where are you going to play him? Who are you going to take off the field
Special
to
team.
replace him with? Okay, thank you, thank you. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying these are things that we have to be mindful of and have to remember. And I don't know if so many people, if many people dived into his tape when he came out of college, but I did, and I already knew what his strengths and what his weaknesses were coming out of Southern Illinois. I was glad to see that the Panthers used him the way they used him in that defense when Phil Snow was here, but he's
Mm-hmm.
not here no more. So
Yeah. So it sounds
there
like
you
you're
have it.
saying that Jeremy Chin is not going to be part of the team next year.
He's one of the players that I believe that can
Mm-hmm.
either be cut or traded, and I think
Okay.
you can probably get some trade value out of him because he was a second round pick. Now,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Paul was saying. He said Chin was a second round draft pick, not some undrafted player. Everyone had high hopes for him. Everyone. That is a fact.
yeah,
That is a
yes,
fact.
I
We
did.
all did.
I had
Yeah.
high hopes for him. Don't get me wrong, I had high hopes for him, but just as well as I saw his strengths, I saw his
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses. And
Facts.
right now, in Ivero's defense, his weaknesses was shine. There would be a light shine bright on his weaknesses than on his
Mm-hmm.
strengths.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool beans. All right. So now
Right.
let's get to what I hope a lot of you here are here to see as well. We're going to do a quick mock draft. Our mock draft Monday series now kind of turned into mock draft Wednesday. All right, so let me get this screen pulled. Let me get this pulled up here. Okay. All right. So we are, as everybody knows, we have the first pick. Shoot, we have the first pick in every round from
Every round.
yeah, we got the first pick in every single round. So, a lot of these might be tempting, for people that want to trade up. They see somebody that they have a good,
Hmm.
feeling that they know we're not going to take, or maybe it can be a situation where somebody picks somebody for us, we trade back, trade picks, get the player, situation like that. So, hey, all right. But now we were talking before we got on line here, and let me go ahead and start this draft. Okay. And Tony, you said you want to see about trading the 33rd pick.
Right. Let's see if we could trade back and let's see what's being offered.
Okay.
That's no
Yeah,
go.
that's a no-go. That is also a no-go. Fourth round or second round and a fourth round in 2025. Okay, so
I know
I'm
this is
going
gonna
to
I know this is gonna sound crazy. Let's restart it. Let's restart it. And before we start the draft, let's
Mhm.
see if we can trade from the 33rd. Let's try to trade back 3 to 5 picks and see,
Okay.
before the draft even starts.
All right.
Let's see what we can shake then.
Carolina past 7 rounds entered. Okay. Let's
So
see.
I think we can go, yeah,
All right.
trade.
I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Okay, who
Hmm.
has? So you want to trade back maybe like 2 or 3 picks?
Yeah.
Okay, trade. Let me see who has what. Okay, now Arizona has the 35th pick.
Okay.
You want to see if we get out
Uh,
35 from them?
see, uh, who has picked 37, 37 and 38? Because I don't
I,
think Arizona moved too much.
okay.
Um,
Now you know what? I
you
don't
know,
know off the top of my head. It used to be where I could scroll on on this line up here, but I can't do that now. So I can't see exactly who
okay.
has what pick. Let's just go ahead and
Let's
get
see what
started
the
and see.
Giants. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hold on. Let me trade. All right, you said the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants and the Chargers. Let's see. Yeah, just click them.
Okay,
Okay, there you go.
Giants got 39, and the Chargers have 37. So there's your 37 pick.
Okay, let's try to swing a trade with the Chargers at 37.
Okay, so let me see.
The
One
reason
that
why I
we
said more, at least four, at least four picks, they may be willing to give up a lot more if
okay.
the trade thing will let it go.
All right, so let me see. We try to get them 37. Let me let me take this damn thing off. Charge. All right, let me try this again, y'all. I apologize. LA Chargers. Okay, 37. Now
So second,
it won't let us get
go ahead.
that third round pick. What about no fourth round?
Second and
We'll
the
accept
fourth.
that trade. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
let's take that.
All right. Bet. All right. Let's go ahead and start the draft.
All right.
I put it on fast this time. Okay, and look, the Chargers are trying to trade with us again. 37 for the third round, 81, fourth round. Nah, ain't gonna mess
No,
with them.
no.
Okay, so we traded back. All right, and the guy that we picked
Yep.
the last time is still there, Graham Barton. Okay, and also our boy Lad
My
McConkey
boy.
is still there at number 40. All right, Tony, who you want to go with?
Now, based off conversation, based off of just listening to Dan Morgan and Dave Canales speak at the combine,
Hmm.
one thing Dan Morgan said is that they want to have what's the word he used? Not he didn't necessarily say playmakers. He
Playmakers.
said we need more playmakers because if you pay attention to what he said, the only two receivers that he mentioned for Carolina was Thielen and Mingo. So
Hmm.
that kind of like leads me to believe that maybe DJ Chark is probably gone. Even TMJ may be
Yeah.
gone. You know what I'm saying?
We
So
like
if you want
we
to,
do want to see them do something with him. Sorry, go ahead.
right. So by them um looking forward to having Austin Corbett back and
Hmm.
Brady Christensen back. I think of course Bradley Bozeman, Taylor Moton, and Icky gonna be back. So I think they're looking to have get the nucleus of the offensive line back. But I think that just listening to Dan Morgan speak, I think they really realize that they need more playmakers and wide receivers. Because one thing that was harped on last year, and we talked about it
Hmm.
week in, week out, there's no the receivers weren't able to create any separations. And one
Okay.
thing we know about Lad McConkey, he can create some separation.
Okay.
He's reliable. He's a precise route runner. I know
Hmm.
last time we did, the first mock draft, we took Graham Barton,
Graham.
but okay,
Sounds like you
I
want to go
want to see
lad.
what. Yeah, let's. I won't go lad. Let's go lad.
Okay. All right. Since we took Graham last time, let's go Lad this time. All right. So
All
Lad
right.
McConkey, pick 37. All right.
And who better for him to
Mhm,
learn under than Adam Thielen? Because Adam Thielen's on his way out. Lad McConkey
mhm.
come in as a rookie, play 1 year, be
This
tutored
is
by Adam Thielen.
mhm.
He has a possibility. Uh
Now
oh. What is that?
I I wouldn't even accept this trade. I think this is far out of the realm of possibility. I don't think Arizona's
Yeah,
trading
I
that
don't
many
think that's
damn picks to
I don't
jump
think
up
that's
one pick. Yeah,
yeah, I don't think
I
that's
don't think that's far.
yeah,
Now we
that's
do
not based
have the
on
Chargers.
reality.
Yeah, the Chargers are wanting the 65th pick for the 83rd, the 100 in the third round, and 153 in the fifth round. Okay, well let's see who's on the board
Mm,
first though. All right, and let me see. Um, Edrin Cooper, that linebacker, Texas A&M. Javon Bullard, safety, Jordan.
beast.
I'm at Georgia. Which one?
Edgerrin Cooper. If Edgerrin Cooper for some reason somehow falls out of the second round, because I think right now he's a first rounder. If
Uh-huh.
he falls to 65,
Yeah.
that's the middle linebacker. That's the middle
Okay.
linebacker that we've been waiting on.
Okay.
That
All right. Cool.
just my opinion. But with that, who
All right.
those are best available?
Yeah, those are the best available. We also have Adisa Isaac, edge from Penn State, and Marshawn Nealon,
I don't
edge
know
from
more.
Western Michigan as well. Okay.
I don't know
So now
much about.
these may come into play if situation with Brian Burns is not resolved by the draft. So you never know. We also have
Mm,
Blake Corum, running back from Michigan there as well. Okay. And little Tony shaking his head. He's like, nope.
no, because
All
that's
right.
not a position of need. Like you said, CJ, we need to
Mm-hmm.
hit on as many draft picks, if not all, that we possibly can. And right
Mm-hmm.
now, that is not on the high list on the totem pole of position of need and is running back. I
Okay.
would love to have
Now,
him,
yeah, yeah, I would too. Now let's
but
go. Let's go to the offensive line. In guard, Cedric Van Pran,
I
Georgia.
like him. I like
Okay.
him. I like
We'll
Cedric Van
tackle.
Pran.
Got Kieran, whatever his last name is, from offensive tackle from Yale. Blake
Yeah,
Fisher from Notre Dame. Christian Jones from Texas. Roger Rosengarten from Washington. Javon Foster, who we picked in our last draft, offensive tackle from Missouri, and we
we
picked
picked him
him.
sixth round, fifth or sixth round.
Yeah, fifth or sixth round. Okay, so another position of need, Cedric Van Pran, inside offensive lineman from Georgia. Thank.
Got a we spoke. Dan Morgan spoke about depth. We talking about
Mm-hmm.
bringing in some competition. I think Cedric Van Pran can work in both ways.
Yeah. And Icky is going to stay at left tackle. Okay. You got Taylor Moton coming back at right tackle. What was our biggest revolving door on the offensive line last year was the guard spots. All right.
Yep.
Let's take Van Pran from Georgia.
All right.
Hold on. Three trade offers. There are okay. Well, San Francisco is offering us 125 and 132 for the first pick in the fourth round. All right. Well, let's see who's on the board real quick. Oh, okay. Running back Jonathan Brooks from Texas, Brandon Dorless, edge from Oregon, Kieran Emengaje. Please forgive me if I said that wrong.
I'm not gonna do it to myself.
Kalen
I
Carson,
refuse.
quarterback, Wake Forest. Cedric Gray, linebacker, North Carolina. Spencer Rattler, QB, South Carolina. Dominic Puny, um, offensive guard from Kansas. Braylon Allen, running back from Wisconsin. And let me see. You got Marquise Irvin, running back from Georgia, and safety Cole Bishop from Utah. Okay,
Marquise Irvin, that's running back from Oregon. Oregon. You said Georgia.
I'm sorry, Oregon. My bad. My bad. All right. What you think here, Tony? And mind you, we do have. Okay, so to bring back up the offers, we do have the 106 pick. Okay, so if we do trade this
Okay.
102nd pick, we get to pick again in a few picks. Plus, we pick up 25 and 32.
I like Brandon Dorlus, that defensive end out of Oregon. Big
Hmm.
boy. We
Okay,
talked about, yeah, um, even if we sign
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns, right? Even after we re-sign Brian Burns to a contract, we need to get him a running mate on the other side because I don't think anyone is comfortable with our current defensive ends. So we
Okay.
seen what happened, when Justin Houston went down last year, who
Hmm.
was I can't say he was, yeah, I don't like that word bust, but he would definitely,
Hmm.
for whatever reason, didn't work out for us
Yeah,
last year.
Marquis Haynes was hurt.
Plus he plus he was old as hell in football years. So let's
Yeah.
let's not act like that wasn't a factor. But I do like Brandon Dorlus. Yeah, he went to Oregon, but if you watch the tape, Brandon Dorlus is a better defensive end than DJ Johnson.
Okay. Hey, look.
And like we talked about last mock draft, CJ, our boy from Carolina, Cedric Gray there. Now you talking about a
Hmm.
middle linebacker that can cover, got good instincts,
Stop
sure
the run.
tackler. Yeah, stop the run. Hey,
Hmm. Hey, look. Dylan said this app needs to work on its trade values. It does. It really does.
exactly,
Miss Uncle Dory said, "Pick
exactly.
Rattler. I dare you." Nah, not
Not gonna
happening.
happen. You win. You win. You won that bet. Cause that's not
He
gonna
said,
happen.
Get the edge." And then Diggett said, but we got DJ at the edge, LOL.
I'm not
All
gonna
right.
even I'm not gonna respond to dig it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take Brandon Dorlus with from Oregon. All right. Because like you said, if
Yeah.
we keep Brian Burns, we still gotta shore up that other outside linebacker slash edge
Yeah.
spot.
Gotta give him a running mate, man.
Yep. Okay. So now picked a few picks later, 106, and our um our guy from Carolina, Cedric Gray, is still there. Now let's look at the linebackers in general. Got Cedric Gray, Tommy Eichenberg, Tyron
I like Tom
Hopper,
Eichenberg too.
Jalen Ford, Trevin Wallace, Marcis Lafua, Alifu, however you say that. Y'all know by now I'm bad with names. Okay.
I'm gonna let you
Um
have
I did don't let me. Hey, let me tell you, I'll be quick to be
it.
like, I'm just gonna go with the one name out of the two that I can pronounce. I ain't even gonna try it. All right. Now swing back to wide receiver here because we got Brendan Rice from USC, Johnny Wilson, Florida State, Jalen McMillan, wide receiver from Washington, Jermaine Burton, wide receiver from Alabama, and Javon Baker. Okay, Javon Baker, who we took in last week's draft as well.
Yeah.
And I did not know this about him. He played at Alabama and he played a season with Bryce or
I didn't know
Javon. He started
Javon
off.
Baker played at Alabama.
Yeah, he started off at Alabama, then he went to UCF.
Mm, okay.
Hey, look, don't let CJ announce graduates. Hey, that is a fact. That is a fact. Don't have me nowhere near that damn podium.
Uh,
Fact. Facts. I will mess your
oh
name up
man.
with all the sincerity in the world. But yes, Dylan, that is a fact. Hey, look, you know how
oh
everybody be
man.
like, "Oh, he didn't mean no harm." That would be me. That would be
Yeah.
me. I don't
Yeah.
mean no harm, but I'm not gonna get all these names right. All right. So what you thinking, Tony? You leaning towards Cedric Gray here?
Hey, you know what I said? Like, in the first mock draft, when
Hmm.
you running that 3-4 scheme, your strength need to be up the middle. You need to have a strong defensive line, especially a nose tackle, and you need to
Mhm.
have a true middle linebacker that can help you stop the run, but that's also good in pass coverage. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times, what you'll see in the league nowadays, you'll see um you'll see a lot of teams running a hybrid of the 3-4-4-3, which is a 4-2-5. You know,
Mhm.
four down linemen, two linebackers.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I don't agree with that. Push Louisville to the edge. What do you mean? Push him to the outside linebacker? Because he's not going to play edge outside linebacker
Well,
in the
remember,
three four
but
in this
remember,
3-4 scheme.
remember what we were talking about though last week when we were saying that when Shaq went down this season and Louisville was really playing, out of position where he had to take over that middle linebacker spot. And I think he's saying if you draft Cedric Gray here, put him at his natural inside linebacker position. Like I said, I know it's the 3-4 scheme, but you could free up Louisville to kind of do what he does best, get after the quarterback.
Mhm.
In a sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
I
the
get you.
consensus is linebacker here. Paul said, I
Yeah.
like the inside linebacker from NC State or Michigan. Oh God,
Oh,
Peyton Wilson.
Peyton Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
love Peyton Wilson
we
too.
we love him too, just don't love his injury history.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson is a dog. Like I said, that's like Luke Kuechly 2.0. He has the sideline speed, great instincts, can run a player down. But the
Mhm.
thing with him is his injury history. And right now he's not even on the board as far as
Yeah, I think he's
linebackers.
gone
He's
already.
already gone. But
Mhm.
yeah, Peyton Wilson, if and that's a big if he can stay injury free or
Yeah.
relatively healthy, oh yeah, hell yeah. Big boy, what like 6'3", 6'4",
Mhm.
240. Yeah. But
Yeah.
right now,
Paul,
yeah, I think Cedric Gray.
okay. Paul says Cedric Gray has some tackling issues.
Mm, I don't I ain't see it. If he do, I ain't see it.
Well, look, hey, he can. I hate to say this like this, but he can join the fray. Because let me tell you, we were full of tackling issues last year. Oh, let me not
Yeah.
say that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take Gray with this pick right here. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Jaguars will give us 152 and 2025 seventh rounder. Bengals 196,
Mhm.
252. All right.
No.
The Saints are trying to give us two fifth rounders and a seventh rounder. Vikings, fifth rounder, sixth rounder, and the seventh rounder. Green Bay, absolutely not. Falcons, uh-uh. We looking for stuff in for just for our purposes. We looking for things that are going to impact this draft right here. Okay.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right, just to recap, we picked Lad McConkey at 37, wide receiver from Georgia. Guard Cedric Van Pran from Georgia at 65. Edge Brandon Dorlus from Oregon at 102. And at 106, which is the pick that we also traded to get, took Cedric Gray, linebacker from North Carolina. All right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I want to see if there's any
A
good
cornerback.
players.
Yeah.
Cornerback, because that's another position. Just say they end up getting rid of Dante Jackson. Okay, that's another need that we have. All right.
Yeah.
Um, let me see.
I like Johnny Dixon out of Penn State.
Hmm.
Nehemiah Pritchett out of Auburn is at he's very aggressive, and
Hmm.
I can see where Nehemiah can get a lot of holding penalties.
Hmm.
So I ain't gonna say injury prone. I'll say penalty prone, because of his aggressive nature, and I don't think you need to be that aggressive in Ivero's defense because he's not gonna play a lot of press man. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
zone heavy scheme. So that's why I think just watching some tape that I have watched, I think Johnny
Hmm.
Dixon would fit more into that defense than Nehemiah Pritchett.
Okay. And let me also take a look at another position where we have a stud who we feel needs a little bit of help. Or man, a lot
Defensive
of
line.
help. Yeah, Derek Brown. Okay, Makai
Yes, sir.
Wingo from LSU, Dwayne Carter from Duke, Tyler Davis from Clemson. Tyler Davis from
I
Clemson. That's
yeah,
not who I'm thinking it is. Never mind.
dog. He's a dog. I
Okay.
don't remember Makai Wingo's size. I don't
Mm.
remember how big he is, but I know Tyler Davis.
Let me
Kind
look
of
him.
put me Tyler Davis kind of put me in the mind of the young man that came out of Georgia last year that played opposite of Big Boy that went to Philadelphia. Uh I forgot the
Davis.
defensive lineman name, but
No,
yeah, I'm
you
about
talk
Tyler.
about
No, he's at Green Bay. He's at Green Bay. Um
I forget his name.
was it Wyatt? Was it Wyatt? I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. But he
Okay.
that's who Tyler Davis remind me of.
Okay. Now,
Tyler Davis would be a solid pick to put him alongside Derrick Brown. He's not as big as
okay.
Derrick Brown, but he has
Uh,
a good motor, can stop the run, and he can get after the passer.
okay. Now, Kyle Wingo is 6'1", 295 pounds.
No.
Let me look up Tyler
We
Davis.
got
All right, he's 6'2",
Tyler
three
Davis.
hundred pounds. Tyler
Okay.
Davis. All right.
Yeah.
Let me
Because
also look
he is
up
short, but he got that
Dwayne.
low center of gravity.
Okay. All right. And Dwayne Carter, I have 6'3", but it doesn't give his weight. 305.
Okay.
6'3", 305.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and like we were saying, we always say that we need because in my opinion, I don't know how anybody else feel. I think Shy Tuttle kind of underperformed last year. Um,
Very much so.
I don't think he played terrible, but I don't think he made as big of an impact as we would have liked to see him make, because sometimes it was almost like you really didn't know if he was on the field or not. And sometimes you think he's on the field and the
That's
camera
true.
pan and he's sitting on the sideline. And you just like,
That's true.
you know what I mean? So,
Right. No, you're right. You're right. Because there was times where you see the defense out there and you wonder if he's out there because his name
mhm.
ain't being called. You don't see him in on any of the plays. Yeah, it didn't look
Yeah,
good for him last year.
Paul said, "Get that player on the Bojangles diet." Oh goodness. Okay. All right. So, out of these three,
So
Tony, who
which
you
way you
want to go
going?
with?
Oh, who I want to go
Yep.
with?
Yeah.
I would take Tyler Davis. Me personally,
Okay.
I like Tyler Davis.
All right. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of leaning towards Dwayne Carter because I did see him play versus Carolina last year. I mean, he is definitely a run stuffer. Okay. Um.
Okay, take Dwayne
Yeah.
Carter then.
Yeah. Let's take Dwayne Carter. All right.
All right,
I mean, and it's giving us A's and A pluses for all our picks. I mean, don't read into that too much. I mean, we are taking a lot of the suggested players, and we have a lot more diving to do into a lot of the other players in this draft. Because and like we said, after the combine, a lot of these players' stock will rise, some of them will fall. So
some will
even though
fall. Right,
yeah, A plus and all that stuff, we haven't done a deep dive yet into, like, the majority of the talent. We know some players that we've seen play, know some players that we follow, kept track of. But yeah, I just want to say that, just because we got all A's over there, we're drafted for needs right now. All right. And let me
in
see. We
which
got three.
that's who we believe Carolina. We believe that's what Carolina need to do because we're not in a position to just draft. best player available. We need the best player available at a position
That's
of
a
need.
need. There you go.
Yeah, so we
All
need
right.
to emphasize that.
Yeah. 3 trade offers. Green Bay, Raiders, no. Lions, no. Okay. Yeah, because that's just going back 3 picks, but that's not going to do us really any good right now in this draft.
Right.
Okay. All right, we got 2 picks left, 165 and 180. Let me go all best player available. Now, the one cornerback that you did like is gone. All right. So we
Mm-hmm.
have Jalen
Both of
Simpson
them
from
gone.
Auburn, Bo Braid from safety from Maryland. We also have Nehemiah Pritchett, cornerback for Auburn.
On there.
Was that the one that you was saying might get a lot of holding penalties, or was it Simpson?
Yeah, but you know what? At 165, what is this, round 6?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, first
mean,
pick in
at
round
this
6.
point,
No, I'm
at this
sorry. We
point
still in
right
5.
now,
We still in round 5.
okay, 5, yeah, 5. It don't. Oh, where it
Hold on.
go?
I'll be damned. I clicked off the damn thing. Shit. I don't. You know what? All right. Well, I messed that one up, y'all. My apologies. I don't know what happened, but somehow I clicked the damn back button. Ah, crap. That was a good one too. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was a pretty good
I
one.
think with 165, we would took Nehemiah Pritchett. You
Hmm.
know that I think because at that point you're not technically looking for a starter. You're looking for somebody that can come in and compete, and possibly contribute, and you never know what the possibilities can get. You know what you never know what the possibilities can be until you get them in camp. So, I think for a fifth round pick, I think he would be a good choice um, for the Panthers at in the fifth round.
Okay. And then that last pick, hell, best player available, go for it.
Right.
But yeah, but my apologies, everybody. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I fat fingered the mouse or something and clicked it by mistake. But my sincerest apologies, everybody. Did not mean to take, and it kind of sucks because as soon as you back out of the draft, it resets it. It won't let you like pick it up. At least that
Yeah,
I don't know if any of the other ones do or not. But you can't back out of the draft and then go back into it and kind of pick up where you left off. So you know, I do apologize,
that's true.
but I did want to Paul said Tuttle is earning a nice salary too. He sure is. He sure
Now,
is.
was Paul being funny and calling the man turtle? Or was that a typo?
Hey, I think it was a typo, but I mean, sometimes he was out there
I'm
putting
gonna say it was
stones.
a typo because the R is next to the T. So I'm gonna say he accidentally hit the R instead of the T. He wasn't calling Shy turtle.
Hmm. I did want
Now,
to
if
go
if
back
that was
to
Mr. Hunky Dory or Dig It, I would say yeah, they definitely tried to call him a turtle. But Paul, I don't
uh,
think Paul would do that.
that's good. Hey, I did want to go back to Diggs' comment. He said, "Is Zavala going to make next year's team?" Yes. I,
I
I,
believe
I
so. Yeah.
yeah, I do believe he's gonna make next year's team. And I want to say that he might be another one of those players that may benefit from a new scheme change, a new system to to work with. He did
Hmm.
get injured. What was it about? What 3 games into the season, 3 or 4? Because he filled in for Bradley Bolden for like 2 games, I think it was, and then hurt his oh god something his shoulder, arm, or something.
Here the
Oh,
shoulder.
okay. I'm gonna say don't get me
Yeah.
the line, but yeah. Um, Paul said that was a typo on Tuttle. Mr. Ghidorah said, never thought Zavala at center. He has arm length, crouch depth, and size. Let me see. Oh, Paul said I would cross train Zavala at center to replace Bozeman. Hmm, okay.
Yeah. That's a strong possibility.
Yeah. Well, I one thing I do hope is that the Panthers going into this off season are going in with the mindset of, like Dan Morgan said, with Brian Burns. All things on the table. I hope that's the same mentality they have with all these positions. Okay. Um,
Right.
Competition, depth, working with the lineups until they get it just right. Like don't be afraid. Just be like Icky. If he gets out there and he's thinking it up, put his ass on the bench. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Get hey, look, give somebody else a shot. You know what I mean? Let me see. Big Slim said, "Will there be a tight end that can contribute in the fourth or fifth round?" I don't know. There was one from Ohio State. Is it Cade Stover?
Yeah, Cade Stover from Ohio State.
I did a mock draft by myself probably last week, and I want to say that Stover was still around in like the third or fourth round. Now I don't even know where he was available in this draft because we never even looked at the tight end spot. But
Right.
but you never know. To be honest with you, Stover is kind of the only tight end that in this draft that kind of stood out to me as far as like me being able to think of his name right off the top of my head. There's probably some better prospects out, not better, but there's probably more prospects out there. But I just haven't paid
Oh, there,
that much
there
attention
there's one
anyway.
better than him. That's Brock Bowers from Georgia, who's definitely
Facts,
definitely going
facts.
in the
Well, I
top
mean,
15.
yeah, hell, he's gonna be gone. So outside of
Yeah.
Brock Bowers, let me rework that and say it
Yeah.
that way. Outside of Brock Bowers, okay. He said, "True." Mr. Duncan Dory said, "True Slim, but not many tight ends showing up this year." Paul said, "It's a
That's
pretty weak
true.
tight end class that lacks depth." Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Now speaking of tight ends, there are a couple. Is Noah Fant a free agent, or was he just being talked about as maybe the Panthers trying to trade for him?
Who's that? Noah Font?
No, yeah,
Yeah. I think he's possibly. I think Noah Font is possibly a free agent. Falcons
okay.
released tight end Geno Smith, who can be signed as a free agent. Mm.
Mm,
Geno, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Jay Smith was he played pretty good, if I'm not mistaken, when he came from New England. And he got the opportunity to get a nice contract when he signed with Atlanta, but it hasn't worked out in Atlanta.
okay,
Just like it hasn't worked out for Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. He was the first round, eighth overall draft pick that year. Um,
yeah,
I think the main thing with Atlanta, they really haven't had any quarterback that can really spin the ball. You know what I mean?
hmm
So
Now
and
I
they
pulled
they
up.
got a very run heavy scheme. And with Kyle
Gotcha.
Pitts, he needs to be Kyle Pitts needs to be, in my opinion, in a more pass happy offense to utilize his talents because he's a very big body wide receiver that can help you in the passing game, but don't really give you much or nothing at all in the blocking. And as far as being a blocker, he's not very dominant as a pass blocker. So
Okay,
or blocker period.
gotcha.
I'm not just going to say pass blocker, but as a blocker period, he's not that very dominant. I just don't think he's in
Okay.
the right offensive scheme in Atlanta.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the tight ends on Spot Track, and you got Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Dalton Schultz, Gerald Everett, Mike Gesicki, and yes, and Noah Fant is an unrestricted free agent. So
Paul said he
now,
had his best. Smith had his best season last year in terms of stats and production. Well,
okay,
okay.
59 PFF for Geno, but he is still 248 pounds, 6 feet 3, 4'6" in the 40. Okay. Now,
Well,
now, now, mind you,
So is Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble is a little big. I
yeah.
think Tommy Tremble is like 253, 6'3",
Now,
6'4".
now, the consensus with us here, two fans in the stands, mainly me. is that what's my man name? Ian Thomas is probably gone. Okay, no disrespect to Ian Thomas at all, but I think his time is come to an end in Carolina. And if they want to pick up another tight end, because we ran 4 tight ends last year: Thomas, Trimble, Hayden Hurst, and Stephen Sullivan.
Sullivan.
Stefan. Yeah. So if they want to run 4 again this coming up season. I think that free agency would probably be the best bet. They're probably where they're going to go and find one at. I don't know if they will. I don't think the need for tight end is big enough for them to um try and waste anything. Not waste, but try to pick them in the draft anywhere above maybe like round 6 or 7. And I think it's more pressing things they need to worry about than tight end, because I do think that Tommy Tremble is a very capable tight end. Hopefully, Hayden Hurst can get whatever's going on with him straight. I think it was his dad said he was having some mental, not mental issues, but he was having some mental issues. He was kind of
Who?
forgetting
Hayden Hurst?
things, and yeah.
Yeah, from that concussion that he suffered in the third or fourth game, not third or fourth game, in week 13 when he got that concussion, they said when he came back from the concussion, he was having like these crazy blackout spells, and it took him
Mhm,
longer to recover from the concussion, and then he was having symptoms of not being able to remember
mhm.
things.
He
So
was
that I
having
think they wanted,
short term memory, wasn't it?
yeah. So they would
Yeah, short term
they
memory.
were taking more time to do a little bit more of a deep dive as to
Mhm,
what was going on with him. But I think by the end of the year, because they made him active, if I'm not
mhm.
mistaken, the last week or two of the season, and he spoke about it at the end of the season that what he went through and whatnot, and that he felt healthy and things like that. So we'll see what it turns out to be when the season starts. But yeah, he
Okay.
did have those issues.
Look, Miss Uncle Dory said Butterfingers equals Tommy Tremble. I'm gonna have to push back on you a little bit, Miss Uncle Dory. I think
Yeah,
Tremble did an admirable job catching the ball. I think now he came out of Notre Dame, he was mostly known as a blocking tight end. But for the most part, when the ball was thrown his way and put, in a spot where he can get it, he came down with the ball. I don't I'm not gonna say he didn't drop any. I know he did, but I don't remember him dropping, that many
no, he
passes
didn't.
where people was like, "Don't
Right,
throw him the ball anymore." Um,
right.
Now dig it. This say isn't Richie Giovanni Richie still called a tight end? I'm not even gonna lie. Tony would tell you that's my boy right there. Hey, I said this from the jump. It was a year, not last year, but the year before last. I said, hell, Giovanni Richie was probably the best tight end we had, but he was playing fullback. Okay.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
don't even know, is he still on the team?
I believe so. Don't quote me that. Don't quote me on
Okay.
that. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. But
Okay.
Tommy Tremahan's have definitely gotten better since his rookie year, just as well
Mhm.
as Hubbard. They did JJ Jensen has that Cart Talk series that he did every week with different players,
Yeah.
and he did it with Tommy Tremble and Chuba Hubbard, and they both spoke how they stay after each practice for about 30 to 45 minutes working on the jugs machine, and you can see that what they have been you can see their hard work paid off. Cause Tommy
Mhm.
Trimble hands have gotten better, and Chuba Hubbard hands have gotten better. Chuba Hubbard to me is no longer, in my opinion, of a liability in the passing
Pass game.
game,
Yeah.
as far as running back. I think his hands have gotten much better. So I had to give him credit because I was very vocal about my displeasure as far as us drafting him and as far as him being a pass catcher running back because he didn't have those hands. But he has gotten tremendously better um, in his time in Carolina. So has Tommy Tremble.
Yeah. Paul said, I heard Giovanni Ricci open up a pizzeria down on Tryon Street.
I have
I don't,
no idea.
I have no idea. Big Slim said, "Yeah, I like Richie too." But yeah, Giovanni Ricci was my dude, man. I always liked him. I liked him as a fullback, and he had really good hands coming out the backfield anytime they threw the ball his way. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a once we get through the combine, free agency starts, Panthers start making some moves, we'll have a better idea of what they may or how they may view the draft and where we think their mindset is going to the draft. Okay. But
right.
whatever they do, whatever they sign, or no, sorry, whoever they sign, I just hope, like you said, it's a position, of need, and not one of them situations where it's just like, okay, well, this is all we can afford. Let's just bring them in and hope that it works. You know what I mean? And who was I think
Right.
Mr. Hunky Dory made a comment earlier. He was like falling in love with the player, not the stats.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Stats do matter to a certain point. Um, I think people tend to fall in love more with the player and not the
Hmm.
production of the player.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of a 50-50 with me because at the end of the day,
Hmm.
you want the production on the field. You want them to be
Okay.
able to produce for you. So when they produce, when they give you that production, it's going to show in their stats.
Okay. Gotcha. Hold on. Look at Digger here. He said Chuba used to be like Roberto Duran. Hands of
I
stone.
saw that. I saw that. Yes,
Paul Mancini said Ricci was perfect H back combo.
yes, he
Fullback side.
was.
Yes, he
Fact.
was. Yes,
Yes, he was.
he absolutely was. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we got for y'all tonight. Again, I apologize for my misuse of my mouse and um clicking off of the draft screen too early. Um, but we were probably going to take the cornerback from Auburn with that with pick 165 and draft, like I said, best player that was out there at the last pick at 180. Okay. But Tony, you got anything you want to say to everybody?
No, man. Thank y'all for staying up this late watching us. We greatly appreciate it. Like CJ mentioned earlier, we are I think like 9:52 right now, so we need 48 or more great subscribers out there. So you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button as well, so you will be aware to whenever we drop new content or whenever we go live again. But
Okay.
yeah, that's all I got, cuz you got it.
All right. We'll probably go live again on Saturday. We're trying to keep a schedule here. Wednesday and Saturday. Um, the combine starts
Start.
tomorrow. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, the defensive linemen are Thursday. Um, Oh God, I had this written down. I don't have my paper here with me. I know the
Uh,
quarterbacks
I
and running
I
backs and
got
wide
you.
receivers. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, look it up real quick.
Got the defensive linemen and
Mhm.
linebackers on Thursday. Friday, he
Okay.
had the defensive backs and tight ends.
Mhm.
Saturday, we have the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and running backs. And Sunday, the hog maulers, the offensive linemen.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that kind of sucks because I really wanted to. I was really hoping that offensive linemen would go before Saturday so we can kind of, talk about them. But well, we'll see what we come up with for for Saturday. Maybe I'll try to redeem myself and maybe we do another mock draft. Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of
I
upset
might,
about that
I
one
might
because
need, I might need to take over the mouse for the mock draft.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, but I feel like that was a pretty good one. But yeah, I am still mad about that. But we may throw that in the mix or anything that else that does happen in between now and Saturday. And like Tony said, if y'all haven't already and you watching, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You can check us out on all social media at Two Fans in the Stands and on Twix, as we like to call it. That's Twitter/X. We are at Two Fans ITS. Okay. We are currently on TikTok as well. If any of y'all enjoy scrolling through TikTok, we are on there at Two Fans in the Stands also. But yeah, our current goal is 1,000 subscribers, and I stress current goal. Okay, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, the show does not stop. The show will continue, and we plan on getting bigger and better. And getting to 1,000 subscribers will help us be able to bring y'all some more content. And what I really want to do is make sure that I have opportunity, we have opportunity to give back to all the great people that have helped us get here so far. Because a couple years
Yes,
ago,
sir.
this was just a thought. My cousin called me and said, "Hey, man, since you're a Panther fan, I'm a Panther fan. I think about doing the podcast." And I ain't gonna lie, I paused for a second in my mind. I was like, "This joke crazy." I barely like getting up in the room for 3 or 4 people and talking in front of them. What the hell am I gonna do with a podcast? And you know what? I never thought I'd have this much fun talking about my favorite sports team. I told my wife the same thing. She looked at me and she said, "Really? You thought you wouldn't have fun talking about the Panthers?" So, here we are. Okay. But like I said, when
Here
we
we
get to
are.
that goal, the show will not stop. The show will continue. And I appreciate all the love and support. And as always, I'll take you out like I do every week. Okay. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, hit that subscribe button and keep pounding.